I'm not going to claim that this is actually the most shocking cultured anime out there. I know this community has sired some truly degenerate and horrifying narratives. The kinds of things that could ruin your whole day just by learning they exist. But I'm a good little Christian boy who shields mine eyes from such degeneracy and only enjoys basic vanilla bullshit. So when I say that Chiisana Tsubomi no Sono Oku is the most shocking cultured anime I've ever seen, that's coming from an individual who unironically enjoys the taste of white bread and grape juice. I will be talking about this hentai in a good deal of detail today, which means showing some sexually explicit clips and playing suggestive audio. So if that's not something you want to listen to or see, go ahead and bounce out. But if you are going to stay, given the nature of today's topic, I think it would be a good idea to watch this video with headphones or while alone. But if you want to blast this video at full volume on a subway car, I guess I can't really stop you. Before discussing things in deep strokes, I want to first look at this media on a broader scale. I think it's generally very good. The character designs are attractive, the animation is great, and the adult content itself is mostly vanilla and universally appealing. Personally, this show gets my seal of approval and recommendation, which also means I need to issue a spoiler warning on this video. Never thought a hentai would need a spoiler warning, but here we are. Also, please subscribe to me. Okay, let's get into it. So what exactly is Chiisana's story, and why would I risk YouTube's wrath to make a video about it? Well, tackling that first question, we're first introduced to Satoru, the bog-standard male insert with no notable personality or defining features besides his massive cock. He lives next door to Yukari, the hot token Pixar MILF. Yukari is also a single mother to her daughter, Miku. Yukari and Satoru don't get along super well, which naturally makes them incredibly horny for each other. Their relationship is very standard as far as cultured stories go. Both of them are regular adults with regular lives and regular jobs, who happen to live next to each other and like screwing around. This dynamic is something that I like. Satoru and Yukari have some nice chemistry with each other, but are otherwise pretty bland. Yukari's daughter Miku, however, is a bit more interesting. How should I put this? She's weird. She seems too quiet, too emotionless, kind of robotic. Watching how her mother interacts with her, you get the impression that Miku might have a mental illness, or alternatively be on the spectrum. In either case, Yukari is clearly very careful and protective around her daughter, to the point she demands Satoru stay the fuck away from her, despite how close he and herself have become. Yukari does not want Satoru and Miku to be alone together. So anyway, they started banging, and now Satoru has to hide that fact from Yukari, or she might destroy him, and not in a good way. Especially if she realized how aggressive Satoru was. It almost feels like he's forcing himself on Miku. Sure, Miku doesn't seem to be against this, but considering her character traits, it's more than a bit off-putting. I can't really fault the show though. The story is obviously less important to the creators than having jiggly animation or something. Maybe the writers could have made it feel less creepy, but in their defense, they probably didn't think anybody watching this would have enough blood left in their brain to notice or care. The writers seem much more interested in showing us that when it comes to Miku, Satoru is down bad. Nay, he's down horrendous. Even when he's spending his quality time with Yukari, his mind is filled with thoughts of Miku. Her and Satoru keep having sex behind Yukari's back, an act that Satoru insists needs to stop happening, all while chasing Miku down harder than a dirty dog in heat. And Miku certainly isn't making it easy for him to cut things off. It's almost like she's daring him to do it.
So no head?
You can't help but wonder, does Miku want this? Or is she being taken advantage of? Either way, why keep this relationship a secret from her mother? These questions finally come to a head one fateful night. The night Yukari actually discovers Miku's and Satoru's secret accord. There's a mounting tension as Yukari gets closer to catching them together. We get intercutting shots between all three of them, we get temporary fake-outs, and we finally see a slow realization begin to form across Yukari's face. Until finally she bursts onto the scene. Ooh, we're in for some drama now. Let's take a look at exactly what happens next. Holy shit, they were vampires the whole time? This shocking twist retroactively explains so much about the story. All of the weird idiosyncrasies that you don't pay attention to are actually foreshadowing this twist. Miku isn't neurodivergent, she's a vampire using seduction magic. Satoru wasn't lustfully chasing down a defenseless girl, he was being six-pack mind-controlled by supernatural forces.
Leave me alone!
And Yukari wasn't trying to protect Miku from Satoru, she was trying to protect Satoru from Miku. This reveal caught me so off guard, and surprised me so much that I ended up watching the rest of the show just to see what would happen. I was compelled to watch it like it was a regular anime. This kind of crazy plot twist is not something I'd expect out of any cultured show, especially one that appears to be so vanilla and mundane on its surface. The final episode fully descends into this off-putting, rapey horror, and if you liked the show so far, you will probably hate this episode. But as a conclusion to the narrative, it's pretty engaging to watch. Being baffled by how hard and how fast this story jumped the shark, while somehow making it all make sense, just left me feeling very impressed. And I think it's kinda cool to see how these vampires like to operate. I can totally understand if this shift absolutely pissed you off, but personally, I gotta respect this. Even if it did make me throw up a little. So that's the most shocking cultured anime I've ever seen, and why it stuck with me as more than just another brains-off, hand-on experience. I'm not super well versed in the world of hentai, but I'm always willing to learn more. So if there's any other cultured shows out there like this one, where the story plays more of a role than you'd initially expect, leave a comment about it down below. And while you're down there, you might as well hit the like and subscribe buttons. I usually make videos about regular anime and video games, so if that's what you're into, check out my channel. Either way, thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to stay positive, and have a wonderfully happy Valentine's Day, everyone.